we're gonna do something special because today's first day in pockets for the Rockstead Hizen. Yeah, you heard me. We're actually gonna do a review of a Rockstead, which means we're gonna use it and all that stuff, but we're not gonna talk about it here. Turn down the volume. Here comes a little bit of music. So this came in from a customer and he told me he was going to use this as a user knife. Now I've already sharpened this and I'm hoping I don't have to do it again because it is a very nerve-wracking, time-consuming process because you have to be really precise. But I am going to use this a bit and carry it a bit, and I can already tell you, I'm not 100% sure if I would get one of these. I think there's a couple little things about it that just at the price point make it a little difficult for me to swallow. I do know how pricey these are. I don't have the exact price, but we are going to take a look at this from above. I'm going to tell you some of the things I've noticed about it and just some of the little things that I think would be things that you would want to look at before you purchase such a pricey knife. So with that being said, guys, let's not make this take any longer. Let's turn this around and look at it from above on this first day carry for the Rockstead Hizen. We are looking at the Rockstead Hizen, and I just literally wiped this off so that we could film it. It is very hard to film anything with a mirror polish, and there are some micro scratches on this blade that are going to show up. They don't in person look anywhere near as bad as they do on film because just the reflection. Now you guys can see how mirror polished that is. So this came in from a customer. It's in for sharpening. I already did the sharpening and clean up and everything, and he told me I could go ahead and use it and do a review. So I used it for a few things. This knife is a very compact little knife. I like it a lot. I just only have a couple things about it. So you guys know Rocksteads are super high quality knives. This is no exception. Everything I've seen on it so far, super comfortable. It does have some scratches. That it came this way. This knife was purchased used by the customer, which is why it's in to me for sharpening as opposed to going back to Rockstead, because he is not the original purchaser, so he can't use that registration. Everything about this it just screams quality. The fit and finish, centering, everything about it. The action is great. It does have a weird, can you guys hear it? Let's see. It has a weird grittiness to it. It came that way. I wasn't expecting that because the other Rocksteads I've handled have been a lot smoother. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna take this apart and clean it again. I cleaned it once and re-oiled it. We're gonna give it another shot. We're gonna try something different on it. Action on it is pretty good. I mean, you can thumb flip it open. You can slow roll it. The only kind of issues I've got with it that I've noticed so far is I'm not a fan, I've never been a fan of the super mirror polish blades. They look cool, but you know, they fingerprint really easily. They show scratches really super easily. And when you get down to it, when you sharpen them, there's always going to be some artifacts of sharpening that show up. As you can see on that edge, you can see there's some micro scratches there. They are not anywhere near as easy to see in real life. I've got a lot of studio lighting. So I'm not a fan of the super mirror polished blades. I do know that they do it for a reason. It prevents corrosion. This is ZDP 189 at 67 Rockwell. It is prone to rust. There's a reason for the polish. It definitely seals a lot of the pores of the steel. Now cutting with this is great. The only issues, like I said, this is too small for me. I've just come to the conclusion that this knife would not be one I would purchase because it's small enough that in opening and closing, it feels like the knife is going to come out of my hand, which feels hazardous. And then it doesn't allow me a lot of room to when I start closing, because you got to get off of that and out of the way because that blade is hazardous. This knife kind of just makes me feel uneasy in use, which is not something I like. I have other smaller knives that do not feel that way, but this one just kind of feels cramped and dangerous for my hands. So I don't know how much actual use this is going to get. One of the other things I would say is I don't think this would be a knife I would ever have, because just the difficulty of sharpening, just the precision required to sharpen that and maintain that clean, straight bevel separate from the primary grind can be nerve-wracking and time-consuming. So it is a service I offer, but I always tell everybody, you know, there's going to be some artifacts of the sharpening. As far as blade shape and everything, it's great. It doesn't have a real piercing point. It's almost rounded, to tell you the truth, but it is so incredibly sharp that you just can't not say that it wouldn't be functional. This thing would be a great carry knife if it's something that you would just want to have for a user. They are gorgeous. I don't necessarily see this particular model as being really practical for me. I know that they have several models. I have handled them. But all in all, I mean, it's great to actually have one and be able to use it. We're going to see how it handles. I did cut a little bit of cardboard with it. I opened some packages and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure that for me, that's what it would be relegated to, is just minor light duty tasks. In comparison, I have a knife that is every bit as expensive, and I beat on it constantly. This knife does not have the same feel that this knife does. I will use this knife. I don't think I would use this. As a matter of fact, I'm tempted to just put this in its box and not do anything else with it. So, you know, that's kind of how I am right now. We'll see how it feels. I'm going to carry it again for the rest of the day today, and we'll see. But right now, I just don't know how I feel about a Rockstead as a user. So, you know, it's just a little weird for me. It's the first time I've ever actually had one that's in. So I know that this isn't a typical video for me. This might seem out of sorts. Like I said, I've used it. It is comfortable in hand. It just feels a little small and cramped. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I've got nothing else really to say on it, except it is a gorgeous knife. I just don't think it fits a use purpose for me, even though I do carry and use some expensive knives. So, all right, guys, let's turn this around. I apologize if this is not what you were expecting for first day in pockets, but you know, that's where I'm at with it. So let's turn around and do some final thoughts.
So like I said, guys, biggest issue is that I think this is just a little bit too small of a knife for me. It is a great knife. For me, it being so small, manipulating it, knowing how incredibly dangerously sharp it is, makes it kind of difficult. And then there's the factor of, like, do you use something that is so flashy and showy? I carry my Norseman a lot. I carry expensive knives. So those are the only little issues. And then that weird grittiness that it kind of has to it, I'm not sure about that. I might take it apart and clean it again. But guys, that's it on this one. Just a real quick look. We'll get back to this before too long, because I do have to get it back to the customer. So guys, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. But please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as, like I always say, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. But if you do want to support the channel financially, there's a bunch of ways. They're all down in the description tab. I have a membership tab that gets you a bunch of different benefits based on tier. Look at the tiers and see what you want. And on top of everything else, premium tier sharpening tutorial series for those guys that pay at the top membership level. And everyone gets $5 off of my sharpening service per knife. So almost makes it worth it. Other ways you can support, I have I have affiliate links down below. Anything you purchase, I get a portion of it at checkout, and it doesn't cost you anything. It's just a little perk for me having brought those items to you. And the final way is I do have a merchandise store on Ember Shirt Co. I have set up a coupon code that saves you 10% anywhere on Ember Shirt Co. And that coupon code is CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, saves you 10%. And if you send me pictures of you wearing my merch, I will put them in the videos. Guys, I love you all. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Keep it clean in the comments section, and I will see you in the next video. Now I got to figure out where I put that remote.